We are on the road to Unforgiven 2001, and I am excited for no reason whatsoever. Honestly, I'm actually excited because I it's well known if you, especially if you watch the show, if you watch the channel, it's well known that I love WWE 1997 through 2005, and you'd be hard pressed to find me even in the slightest knocking anything they do. With that being said, what the hell type of episode of Smackdown in 2000 and freaking one of my favorite years of all time. What the hell did I just watch? Anyway, Tro, how you doing?
So welcome to the filler episode. This is just this is like a late December. We're going on Christmas break, guys. Here's a Christmas episode type shit.
You know, December, that's one thing I've known. December gets knocked as like a light WWE year. Let me tell you something. In 1999 December was really good. There were some good December years. You'll see a hell of a lot of storyline advancement, especially in 1999 on some December WWE shows than this show. I'll tell you that right now. This show had no storyline advancement.
This was like a house show, basically.
It really was. I'm sitting here watching the main event. That's around the time I messaged you. I was like, "This is this is gonna be like one of the lowest."
To be fair, the main event's good.
I'm not saying that. I haven't even watched the main event but it was coming up. So that's how I knew like the show was almost over. So I'm messaging you. This is gonna be one of the lowest rated shows from this time period that I'm ever gonna. And I did mention that 98 Raw, that one was really bad, but they had reasons. They were like guys who weren't on the show. It was a Saturday show. That one day we'll get to that, and that'll probably end up being the lowest rated weekly show during that time period that I will ever rate. But
we still have a month to go. There's still a chance a random Raw or SmackDown it's worse than this one.
I don't think so, man. It's 2001. These were some great years. But okay, so I'm sitting here watching this main event, and I'm like, well, Kurt Angle's gonna appear at the end. This is where we're gonna get some type of. So the match ends, and obviously, we're not gonna like review the main event right away. We're gonna get through this whole show at some point. But I just want to say, the match ends. And obviously, it's the thumbnail. It's WWE title Austin versus Jericho. So Austin wins. Jericho does not become champ yet. So the match ends. Austin takes the belt, gets out of the ring, walks backstage, and the little copyright 2001 pops up. I'm like, that's it?
Good night, folks.
It? What? What did I just watch?
Kurt Angle went home, folks. he wrestled Canyon and said, I'm out of here.
The Canyon match was pretty fun too, and like the matches weren't bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, but it's like it's a weekly show. I don't expect a weekly show to look like a fucking pay-per-view. Like where it's like match over, next match, match over, next match, match over, next match. That's the reason why I stopped watching the pro wrestling in the first place. Because when I stopped watching, that's the type of shit you'd see on weekly shows.
Oh boy!
What was I gonna
Beautiful
say?
People. It's
you brought that up.
Diana.
Yeah, you brought that up. This is week 2 of the Smackdown Fist of the Beautiful People era, and this was an era where when you saw the Smackdown Fist, at least until about 2005, when you saw the Smackdown Fist, you knew there was going to be some storyline advancement. Not on this show. They were like week 2 of the SmackDown Fist. We're gonna make people start hating the SmackDown Fist.
I thought, obviously the SmackDown Fist is the best. It's probably one of the best bets. It is the best set for any weekly TV show.
You'll get no argument out of me.
This episode is just oof.
It really is.
It's Marilyn Manson did not watch this episode when he said, "Oh yeah, He was beautiful people.
Well, maybe he was watching Ivory's match when he said that.
This is
But
still pre derangement number 5 Edge. So
right, yeah. So so last week, if you remember, I say last week, technically it would be like 2 days ago. It's Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, it's about 2 days ago at this point. Which, by the way, speaking of, we are on the road to Unforgiven. We're exactly a month away. This is the August 23rd Smackdown. The pay-per-view itself is on September 23rd, so we're a month away. But anyway, on the prior episode, the Raw episode, we kicked off the show with a match. Granted, we did have a backstage, earlier tonight backstage segment with Austin. The Alliance essentially congratulating Austin for keeping, maybe not successfully, but he kept the title. So, they congratulated on him keeping the title, even though he lost the match. And then they just went straight into a match. They literally did the same thing for this show. No, not even though earlier tonight they just went straight into a match on this show. I'm like, what? Where's the opening segment? Where's the opening segment? Like, what? This is 2001.
They blew the budget. They blew the budget on the milk.
There was a sign in the crowd. Hey, Austin, got milk. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty much as much as it was brought up. Last night didn't happen. It's not canon.
They were living off the milk angle, the milk segment to end the show because they brought it up a few times. And they were like, "Hey, if you expect something like that tonight, you're shit out of luck." But that's why we're going to keep bringing it up. This is
Smackdown, motherfuckers. You know how much money we spent on Marilyn Manson? We don't got time for milk.
Oh my gosh. So, one other thing, and we're going to fully get through the show at some point real soon, but the one other thing. So last week we had, I don't know, a invasion type big tag match. I said again last week, is 2 weeks ago. I mean 2 days ago. The prior Raw is what I mean when I say.
Technically speaking, 1 day ago in this.
Yeah, because SmackDown taped on Tuesday. I know.
Yeah,
but it airs on Thursday. So we already have one invasion tag match on Raw. Now we're gonna do it again. Different people, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Still, like, this is the match you take off the show. You're like, we're doing this like virtually every week now, so why are we doing it here tonight? You take that off, you put something at the start of the show, not a match, a segment at the start of the show, and it's like, but no. And there was a segment, I think, right after the matches. We are going to get in the show because it was setting up the main event, which, okay, yeah, that's good advancement. You're advancing to the end of the show, but where's the advancement for the pay-per-view? There's not a lot of it, I'll tell you that. So now, as I said, we're going to get into the show. Let's get into it right now. So we kick off the show with RVD versus Jeff Hardy for the hardcore title. And this is where Jeff Hardy went on top of the ladder on the outside with a table laying down right there with RVD on the table. He goes for the swanton. RVD gets out of the way. Boom, he falls. Jeff Hardy does through the table. That's about it for that match. Not much to say other than that.
This ends in a no contest. How the hell does a hardcore match end in a no contest?
Well, here's the reason why.
Just pin him, RVD.
Here's the reason why, and this was pretty good. Remember, this is 24/7 rules.
Yeah.
Remember that. So Raven comes out. And tries to get the title from RVD. Now, Here's the problem. Raven is Alliance, just like RVD. So, and the commentators of Taz and Michael Cole, the voices of my damn childhood, were, going over. It's like, what's Raven doing? He's Alliance. Why is he, going after Alliance? And that is what's eventually going to lead into our one segment of the night, which we're going to get to in a minute. But this I liked because this actually, there was a little bit of tension here. You thought Raven was about to become hardcore champ. I enjoyed that, the whole 24/7 post-match shit, than this actual match itself, which just had one big highlight of Jeff Hardy going woo off the ladder.
I think he should have gone off the SmackDown fist.
Oh my gosh! Shut your mouth type stuff right before a year before Shut Your Mouth came out.
Yeah, they were going to have Zach Gallen do it. They would have Brock Lesnar do it to Zach Gallen, but they couldn't figure out a way to get them to. They couldn't figure out an excuse for him to be on top of the SmackDown fist, even though it was pretty obvious how.
They really were planning to do that?
The parent, Zach Gallen, says that before they agreed to push him down the steps in the wheelchair, he was going to climb onto the SmackDown fist, and Brock Lesnar was going to F5 him from the fist.
Oh my gosh, I really wouldn't try to do that. Wow.
I was like, but we can't figure out a reason why you'd be on top of the SmackDown fist. And I'm like, you just chase him. You chase him to the
that's what I was going to say.
And then you climb the set.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's chasing him, and he's trying to figure out a way to get away. You think this 295-pound monster ain't going to get up. But how the hell can you safely F5 somebody off a SmackDown fist?
You get a very safe padding on the crowd. You edit because it'd be taped show, so
yeah,
they probably would be able to get the crash pads in there and make it look decent.
And then the live fans are gonna know something.
I mean, the live fans knew that Paul Bearer wasn't really in concrete,
right? So, yeah,
but they probably they probably have him F5 him and then zoom in on Brock standing on top of the SmackDown fist.
Yeah.
And then have Zach going on the crash pads and then quickly remove the crash pads and be like, oh my God, look at this. He went through the stage totally.
Wow, I can't believe they were actually planning on
that. Would have been crazy. That would have been a top 10 moment.
Wow. So, okay, so Raven tries to get the hardcore title from RVD, but I believe that does not. Yeah, so RVD's still the champ pretty much. So then Stephanie comes down to the ring, and as I said, this is where we actually get a segment out of this show. This is like literally the only segment on the show. But Stephanie comes down looking amazing as usual. She comes down to the ring and she just tells Raven and RVD to shake hands, which Raven doesn't. He just attacks RVD. That's when Austin's music hits. Austin comes down to the ring and tells them that they are supposed to be a team, not against each other. Austin told RVD to shut up and says the alliance will not die in front of his eyes. And that Kurt Angle will not make the alliance break up. By the way, Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Steve Austin are your main event for the next pay-per-view, and I understand. I don't believe that they've announced that yet, but that's your main event for the upcoming pay-per-view. Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Steve Austin did not even look each other eye to eye on this show. Not one, and not Angle didn't. Angle didn't show up on the Titantron during this segment to say something. Not once did we see Kurt Angle and Jericho. Kurt Angle and Austin have any nothing.
Nothing. He left at the Canyon match. He was like, "Okay, I'm out of here."
It's unbelievable. Even before the Canyon match, he could have been in this. Which again, I get it. This is setting up the main event.
So he comes back out with the milk truck. Ready for round two?
Yeah, so Austin says that Angle will not make the alliance break up, and he told Raven and RVD to be respectful and alliance members and get to the back. And then that's where Austin talks about Kurt Angle. Stephanie then takes the mic and says that the alliance respects you and the fans do also. I believe she was referring to Stone Cold there, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Chris Jericho's music hits, and Jericho comes out on the ramp and says to Stephanie, "Will you please shut the hell up?" Let me tell you something. If there is any heel in my book in 2001, it is freaking Chris Jericho. Like the way he treated Stephanie McMahon is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You dirty, disgusting animal. And I'll come for you too, Rhino.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But oh my gosh,
But
somebody needs to. No, but
here's
it
the
made for
thing.
great entertainment. It made for great
It
entertainment.
was good for good entertainment. But then when he freaking joins Stephanie, like for WrestleMania 18, it
Right.
does not make any sense. Because
I,
I can understand Jericho being like, oh yeah, I'll team up with Stephanie to fuck with Triple H. But Stephanie, this man has tortured you for the last year, basically. I know you want to get back at Triple H, but I
yeah,
don't know if this is it.
yeah, but at when you deal with a loved one who has turned their back on you, I think even your most hated enemy becomes your friend if he hates or he or she hates your ex. Essentially, that's how I view that angle.
Well, somehow she'd be face later 2002. It doesn't make any sense.
So Jericho says to Stephanie, "Will you please shut the hell up?" And Jericho wants the clip of Stephanie on Raw singing. He says he would rather have Deborah's cookies than hear her sing. Stephanie singing is amazing. Do not listen to Chris Jericho. But anyway, he sings a song for Stephanie and makes fun of her, saying that she is a jackass. Then Jericho shows another clip from Raw. It's and this clip is Austin telling Taz to take off that orange 13 shirt. If you remember in the milk truck segment, there was everybody was wearing Austin shirts. Technically, as we mentioned on that show, not everybody was
Yeah.
wearing Austin shirts.
He
His
should
freaking
have gone up to Tori and said, take that shit off, put on my shirt.
Austin would have been a baby face if he goes up
Yeah.
to. But yeah. So it wasn't just Tori. His freaking wife is standing next to him. She doesn't have an Austin shirt on. Paul
Well,
Heyman's got a suit on.
she'll make him eat a cookie if he tells her that.
Paul Paul Heyman, granted, has an Austin hat on, but he doesn't have an Austin shirt on. He doesn't have a WCW shirt on. He's standing there in a suit, and I don't believe maybe Stephanie was wearing. I don't remember now, but yeah, there was a number of people who didn't have Austin or WCW shirts on, and Austin decided to single out Taz because I guess he was standing right next to him. Maybe I don't know, but so Jericho brings that clip up, and then Angle's so Angle actually. Oh no. No, hold on. Angle's music hits. They're still showing this clip. Angle's music hits the arena, and we all know what happens. He spreads milk all over the alliance. Jericho then says he wants a title shot tonight versus Austin. Austin says, "You want a shot here at title tonight on SmackDown, but not tonight. But you will have a match tonight, and it will be against me, just not for the title." Obviously, the crowd starts chanting, "Austin sucks." Jericho then says, "I do have a match for Stone Cold tonight, but not for the WWE Championship." And Austin said, "Right." So Jericho said, "When I win the non-title match tonight, I will be the new number one contender for the WWE title." Jericho said that the fans will start. Yeah. Oh, so he said the fans won't boo Stone Cold Steve Austin. They will start yelling "moo" because of Austin's newfound love of milk.
Yeah, they didn't get that one overnight, did they?
Like I said, we didn't have too much for you tonight, so we're just gonna keep going back to last week's epic show, which was the first show I think where we both had literally the same rating, and it
Yeah.
was 10 out of 10. It was 10 out of. We both had 10 out of 10. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! My rating for the show will not be 10 out of 10. If you haven't understood me for the last 21 minutes, it will not be 10 out of 10. That being said, this was a good little segment. It's the only damn segment on the whole show.
After
Except
every match, they're like, "That was a good match." So, anyways, here's what happened on Raw last.
we do have
Folks, we're not even going to play the second hour. We're just going to show you the last hour of Raw last night.
we do have one very entertaining backstage segment, and I cannot wait to talk about that. But yeah, that's
Xbox, right?
No, not Xbox. Not Xbox.
Live from
Xbox.
WWF New York.
Yeah, Xbox was at the World, but
The World in 2001. No.
Yeah, so we got that. We got a backstage segment that we will get to later that I cannot wait to talk about. But other than that, there's just matches all over the show. My goodness. And here we go. This is the match that, in my opinion, could have easily been scrapped. This actually was a tag match. Well, hold on. Was this the one? Oh, no. We're going to get to that. So we have the Dudley Boys taking on Big Show and Billy Gunn. This wasn't much of a match. This isn't the match that I want to scrap, though. I will get to that.
It's the Shogun.
Yeah, Shoguns versus Dudley Boys. It was an okay match. It was a quick match. Big Show and Billy Gunn got the win. And we promote a match coming up later tonight where Ivory, amazing, taking on Lita. And all I got to say about that match is go Ivory. But what did you think of the tag match here? Actually, I didn't ask you. What did you think about the segment?
Oh, that was a fine segment.
Yeah.
If something that elevates the product at least a little bit.
Yes. And I did not ask you about the opening match. So the opening match and then the 24 segment, 24/7 stuff.
24 segments.
Your
your dream, one match, 24 segments. I thought it was fine.
Okay. So now, did I ask you about the tag match?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's get to. Okay, this was kind of funny. At least the second part of this. So Rock arrives to the arena, and he walks by some behind the scenes guy. He's like, "Have you seen the APA?" He tells him, "Oh, they just went that way." So then Rock about to walk that way. Then he turns around, and is like, "Are you new here?" The guy's like, "Yeah." He shakes his head. He's like, "The Rock." that's how he.
The Rock.
The Rock. So he shakes his hand, and he's about to say like, "Oh, well, my name isn't." Rock's like, "No, don't care. Let's see you later." But here's as funny as the Rock announcing or introducing himself as The Rock. This was even more funny. So Rock walks over to APA, and APA obviously got the little door. So Rock's like looking at the door. He's like, "Well, there's nothing. I can just walk the other way. There's no wall, obviously, blocking me from not using the door." So Rock walks into APA's office, lays his belt down. He's about to start talking to them, and Bradshaw says to Farouk, "Did you hear something?" Farouk's like, "No, I didn't hear nothing." And they're like, you could have knocked. You just walked right through
You weren't raised in a barn, Rock.
He said that too. But he's like, "You walked right through our wall." Rock's like, "Wall? What?"
The Rock's like, "Oh man, I didn't know I was still acting. Just got back in Scorpion King."
And Farouk knocks on the wooden table. He's like, "You could have knocked." And Rock's like, "Watch this." He walks by the door, knocks on the door. He doesn't even come out. If I remember correctly, they did that with a couple of other wrestlers before. I think they did it with Crash, and
Yeah.
Crash had to actually leave, go back in front of the door and knock. Rock's like, "Hey, I'm the Rock," as he told that backstage guy, The Rock. And so he just walks over to the door, not walking behind the invisible wall again. And he's watch this. He knocks on the door, and APA just immediately goes, "Rock, how you doing?" Rock
Well,
didn't even Rock didn't even pick up the WCW title. He just left it on the table. He just walks over. Watch this. Knocks on the door. APA's like, "What? How you doing, Rock?" And then Rock and APA talk about this 6-man, and that's the match that I'm talking about that could have been scrapped. This was another, WWE versus Alliance type of match. The
this
six
was a
man,
very house show. This was like a house show main event match.
yeah. So that was funny. I will give that. That was an entertaining, and technically was a backstage segment. That's not the one I'm talking about. That's going to be really funny. Um, what did you think of this? Both parts of Rock with the new guy.
The Rocket APA interaction was so great.
Yes, especially this segment.
Yeah, I mean, very entertaining. It's you get the comedy from the APA, and the Rock's just able to play off it so well.
Mhm. Absolutely. A tremendous segment. They're probably one of the better segments of the night, and even though there wasn't many of them. Now we have Edge and Christian, and Edge is talking to I forget the name of the aunt. It was one of the aunts. I forgot the name, and Edge is talking. So Christian comes in. He's like, "Oh, you're talking to the aunt." Again, I forgot the name. They had a name. I forgot it was. So Christian takes the phone. He's like, "Hey, aunt, whatever her name is," and he's like, "Hello, hello." So they're again slowly building to the turn here where Christian turns heel. It's like the aunt doesn't want to talk to me, but she'll talk to Edge. So and then Christian after the aunt hangs up, Christian's like, "Listen, I know you got that Intercontinental title match tonight, but don't worry, you're gonna keep your Intercontinental title now. You know how I know." Christian Edge is like, "How do you know?" And Christian says, "Well, I got the match canceled." And Ed, Christian being the heel, there, a little heel, I got the match canceled, and then we see the baby face reaction from Edge. So obviously, something's happening here. And the baby face reaction out of Edge is, "Well, why'd you do that? I was looking forward to defending my title." And Christian says, "Well, the reason why I've done this is because um, I got us a tag title match." And then Edge, maybe not so much of a baby face here. He's like, or I guess a babyface could be afraid of Undertaker and Kane, but he's like, "Have we ever beaten Undertaker? That means we have to go up against Undertaker and Kane. Have we ever beat them?" And Christian's like, "Yeah, we have." Well, I don't know. Like that was a good segment too. What did you think of that?
I like how they're smart. Edge is a smart face.
Yeah, he's like, "You're
He's like,
keeping us."
we've never beaten these guys, dude. Why? I would love the tag titles back, but they're the Undertaker and Kane. They're a bit much even for us.
Yeah. So now we get to Kurt Angle versus Canyon. And I'll be honest, this is one of the best matches. And obviously, he's in the ring, Kurt Angle. I get it. But this is one of the better matches of Canyon's career. This was really a fun match. And I believe, and yeah, Angle obviously got the win. Uh, it's definitely a match to, if you want to look at a fun match between somebody who
Who
maybe
better?
WWE, yeah, maybe in WWE wise, never really had that many great matches. This, this Canyon match, you can watch this. Kurt Angle and Canyon. What did you think of this?
It's a Kurt Angle. It's a Kurt Angle match in 2001. He's always delivering.
I mean, Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle are the type of guys who will take somebody who you don't expect to see in like a really fun match, and give them a fun match. Like Shawn Michaels took on Chris Masters at Unforgiven 2005. That was a really good match.
Yeah.
A really good match. And Chris Masters never really got that many pay-per-view opportunities like that. But to draw Shawn Michaels, that was a treat for him because he got to show he can work a great match when he's in the ring with a guy like Shawn Michaels. But same thing here with Canyon being in the ring with Kurt Angle. It's a rarity for guys like that, and you got to make the most of it. And
Kurt
they
Angle
did.
pulled up to the arena, got out, put his ring gear on, had the match, and left. I'm out of here, guys.
There was a segment before this match that is not in the notes, but Canyon was backstage with a couple of Alliance guys, and they were talking about this match, and it kind of was like it kind of ended with everybody going, "Who better than Angle?" And it's like Canyon, who better than Angle? Canyon. That was pretty good too, but that was a short little segment that is not even in the notes. I've screwed up there, but anyway. This is the match that, in my opinion, should have been scrapped for a segment. Rhino, Test, and Booker T versus APA and Rock. So it's a 6-man. We're coming off a 10-man, match, 10-man tag match last week of Alliance versus WWE. Now we have to have a 6-man. This match, in my opinion, could have been scrapped. Obviously, I know what are you going to do with The Rock if you're going to do that. You could have had him in a segment with Booker T instead of doing this, but I don't know. In the end, Rhino, Test, and Booker got the win. I believe Booker got the pinfall because Booker got the pinfall. He covered Farouk, and he went out and did like a spin-a-rooney on the ramp.
They lingered on this for so long.
Yeah,
They were just killing time. I was like, you can do this, Booker. And Ryan was just in his core position, like, hey, Booker, want to do this? This position kind of hurts to be in for more than a minute.
yeah. I wasn't really feeling this match again. It's like 2 weeks in a row we're gonna do big Alliance versus WWE tag match. It's like let's obviously we got one at Invasion a month ago when obviously that was the big first one. You're gonna get the whole one to end the storyline at Survivor, but we literally just had one 2 days ago on Raw. It's like, do we really need to have another one here? It's like, I get it, it's the angle, it's WWE and ECW Alliance versus WWE, but there's like we don't have to have freaking.
Was Teddy Long booking this show?
I don't know. Maybe I don't
Holla,
know.
holla, holla. Time for another tag team match, playa.
But I mean, at least we have Booker T. Getting one up, getting the pinfall because obviously he is the guy facing Rock. Him and Shane McMahon are facing Rock at Unforgiven. So Rock technically loses even though he wasn't pinned. So it's like Booker gets one up here on Rock. So at least there is a little bit of an advancement there. Okay, that's fine. But hey, at least Rock and Booker T actually were face to face on this show. Can't say that about Angle and Austin, your actual main event on the damn pay per view. But what do you think about this 6-man?
It was a very good house show tag team match. The only difference if it was on a house show, it probably would have ended with The Rock winning.
Right.
Or The Rock laying out Booker T because I gotta send home, I gotta send the crowd home happy.
Yes.
Kind of stuff.
Oh boy. Okay, we'll move on from
Boy.
that. Now you brought this up, and so you brought this segment up, and the segment I was talking about is actually right after this. So first, X-Pac is at the World. Back then it was called WWE New York. I remember it as the World. He said that at SummerSlam he won the light heavyweight title, and he is the first person to hold both light heavyweight title / cruiserweight title for WWE and WCW.
This is an eerie segment. This is I mean, they don't show the towers because you can't really see. I don't think you could see them from Times Square,
No, no, you can't.
but it's eerie. It's eerie. It's like live from WWF New York,
You
where
think
everything is great.
you think that's eerie? And we will get to the September 10th Raw, but they do it again on the September 10th Raw.
Could
I
you
don't
picture?
think I don't think anybody was in the world at that time, so they didn't do an interview.
Yeah.
But you know how they always cut to back then they would always cut to the world, a
Everybody,
live shot of the world.
we're live. It's September 10th. We're live. We're live. Here's a shot of WWF New York. We're actually having a party today at the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Everything is awesome, guys. Everything is amazing.
It's funny as you said that having a party on the tower. It reminded me of a Family Guy joke where
Yeah.
Peter went back in time to like the 80s and he got into an argument with a guy at a bar and he was like, "Well, we're gonna fight about this soon, but not right now." That's what Peter says. So the guy's like, "Well, where do you want to meet up then?" And Peter's like, "On top of the World Trade Center on September 11th at like 9 whatever." You know, and the guy's like, "Okay." The reason why I bring that up is because I can't remember if it was the most recent episode of Family Guy, but there was another 9/11 joke on a recent episode of Family Guy, and it's like, man, Seth MacFarlane, bro,
Well, because
you
he
were
survived
this,
it.
you were this. That's what I'm saying. You were this
Well,
close
one of
from
my
being a victim.
one of my favorite jokes was because I guess as movies went on, whatever they wanted to show the past, it's always like, oh, here's the Twin Towers. This is how you know
Yeah,
it's before 2001. So
yeah.
it was like a flashback episode. So no matter where the location was,
You
they
know
had
what?
the Twin Towers in there.
You know what they were making fun of when they did that?
What?
The episode you're talking about, they were making fun of Friends because
Yeah.
Friends literally always had like the cutaway shot of the World Trade Center, and that was the joke. The World Trade Center was literally. I hadn't even seen Friends yet when that episode aired, but I didn't. So I didn't fully understand the joke at the time, but it was just funny as hell. Like obviously you
Now,
knew Friends took place in New York, so I was thinking maybe that's what they meant.
that would
But
have been a really fucked up Friends cutaway. He cut away. He cut away. Do. Freaking Chandler Joey just had a funny segment. Do. Oh my god.
yeah,
You you can't cut to anything else now, can you?
I I love Family Guy deeply, like even more than everybody still loves South Park today, and they think Family Guy has gotten boring. Like I love Family Guy,
Modern's not
and
too good.
I think Modern's better than people give it credit for. But the thing is, and so obviously I love Family Guy. That means I love Seth MacFarlane. But seriously, bro,
Even though he doesn't write for the shows anymore.
right? Well, I didn't know that, but seriously, you were this close from being a victim. And it's almost like you're making fun of the victims. Like, ha ha, I survived, you guys didn't. That's like, okay, one's fine. They did the one little joke where it's like the guy who was late to work for 9/11, and the guy's like literally standing close to the tower watching all this going down. It's like, I stayed up late watching Monday Night
Well, because
Football.
that's a true story.
I know.
That legitimately, there's like video of the guy. He's like, I stayed up and I watched Monday Night Football. The Giants
Oh,
lost it.
there really
Yeah.
was actually. Oh wow.
Yeah,
See,
Seth
like that.
MacFarlane didn't just pull that out of his ass. That was just a reference.
Okay, you do that one joke, it's fine. But once you start going again and again and again, it's like you were nearly a victim, and it's like you're making fun of the people who were victims. It's like, hey,
Well,
I survived this shit. You guys didn't. Like, come on, like
it's like running out of the tower and be like, lose. Na 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 na. I ran down from the 85th floor. Na 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 na.
yeah.
Screw you guys. Look,
But
we're never gonna act like 9/11 was not a tragedy. It was a humongous tragedy.
Yeah, it was
But
definitely.
but at the same time, it's sometimes fun to
Hey,
make fun of not of the victims, but
right,
of like we're not gonna be like, oh, it sucks to be. We're
but
not gonna be like, sucks to be you.
when you're a guy who actually was lucky enough to miss his flight,
Yeah.
like Seth was, to mock it as much as he has, it's like, I don't know, man.
Like,
I don't know.
at least he's never been like, oh well, if I was on the planes, I would have stopped them. It's
Yeah,
like, no, you wouldn't have.
yeah.
They had box cutters and knives, my dude.
Right.
You were fucked.
Those people on United 93, they had some balls. You got to give them that, man. They
That
had
flight should have never taken off. To be fair, that was a failure also of the FAA because that flight should have not taken off when it did.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, getting back to the show here. So X-Pac at the World. Okay. Now this was hilarious, and I can't wait. I want to talk about this because of how the internet freaking bashes this whole thing. But Regal and Tajiri are talking. It's the only time you see Regal and Tajiri on the show. And Saturn comes in. Perry Saturn, that is, comes into the office. And Regal gave him Moppy. He comes in, it's like he's looking for Moppy. He's like, "Where's Moppy? Where's Moppy?" And Regal's like, "It's okay. I have Moppy right here." And it's clearly a fake Moppy. It's an actual mop with like, it's not Moppy. And Perry Saturn's like, "This is not Moppy." He takes the mop and just smashes it over William Regal, and then attacks Tajiri, and then he's bashing so Regal's office always had like the shining armor, like knight armor on
Yeah.
it. So not Regal, Saturn takes the mop, which is already broken. So he's essentially just got a stick in his hand, and he's bashing the gear, the night gear. This is funny as hell. And then he just drops to his knees and goes, "Moppy!" It's freaking great. And look, was it a punishment? I have no idea. But let me tell you what,
Probably.
if Moppy was a punishment, then WWE can punish me. I'll tell you that. Perry Saturn, before the Moppy angle, look at his pay-per-views for WWE in 2001. Okay, he was in the Royal Rumble match. Who isn't? That's one pay-per-view. He was in a tag team turmoil at Judgment Day. Again, if you're a tag team guy, that's more likely than not you're going to be in that match too. He was in a 20-man battle royal at Survivor Series. That was the what do you call it? The battle royal that Test won. We were just talking about it. Immunity. The immunity.
The inaugural
Immunity.
ball, something like that.
No. The immunity battle royal at Survivor. Yeah. So he was in all that. That's a 20-man battle royal. That's 10 less than the Royal Rumble. It's meant to be a mid-card match. So essentially he was going to be in that. So other than that, he's not on any other pay-per-views except one. The pay-per-view we are building to right now. Unforgiven 2001. He had his one-on-one match for 2001. And why is that? It's because of Moppy.
Now,
Moppy literally got Perry Saturn on pay-per-view. And he did make an appearance at WrestleMania, but he was in Eddie Guerrero's corner. I don't count that.
Now, how close are we to the demise of Moppy?
Why do you think he ran into Regal's dressing room or Regal's office yelling for Moppy? We're at that point already.
Yeah, I mean, like when it's actually destroyed.
Oh, when it's destroyed, it's got to be soon because the pay-per-view's a month away.
Could you imagine this is September 10th episode? Oh, no.
Who knows? It may have been. It may have been.
Perry Saturn the next night on Smackdown was like, what happened last night was a real tragedy. I lost my Moppy. What happened? What happened on Tuesday was horrible, but what happened on Monday, that was real shitty. I lost moppy. I think of all the mops that were lost on Tuesday.
Perry Saturn literally got an opportunity to show that he can be an entertaining character on a wrestling show, and he passed that test with flying colors. Moppy was amazing. The whole Moppy thing was amazing because of Perry Saturn. And if it was a punishment, he took that punishment and ran with it. And like I said, if it was a punishment, if I'm working for WWE, I hope to get that type of punishment. Like, gosh,
I I
the
will
guys.
say, whenever we do get to the Moppy destruction episode, that's probably going to be my segment of the night because of just how horrible it was.
It was a sad, sad moment. And we'll never truly know what Perry Saturn could have did after that because, and he recently brought this up on Maven's podcast,
Yeah, but
on a
maybe
video with me.
Modern Perry Saturn's a little out
Maybe,
there.
maybe, but according to him, so not too long. I think not too. He didn't bring. I don't think he mentioned that it was too long after Moppy, but this was around that time. He was saying the time period. So he gets hurt not too long after Moppy, and he was supposed to come back early 2002. And according to him, he got shot, and like that was the end of his WWE career. And who knows? Maybe he's lying. I'd take him for his word. So who knows if he had not gotten shot, we may have seen more entertaining stuff out of Perry Saturn because of Moppy.
Oh.
And if Moppy never happens, Perry Saturn probably just fades off. Who knows? He may not have even been on the roster anymore at this point.
Mm.
And now moving on, we have Deborah, and she's not happy about what Jericho said about her cookies early on Smackdown, and said to Austin, "If you eat one of my cookies, I will be happy." And that's about it. And now we have, first off, what did you think of Regal and Tajiri in Saturn's office, or Saturn in Regal's office with Tajiri?
I thought it was good. You
Yeah,
know, thinking back on it, it would have been pretty funny if they had Sean Stasiak and Perry Saturn together because
yeah.
Planet Stasiak, Perry Saturn.
This
You could
was
have had Val Venus. You could have had your own Planet stable.
this was pre Planet Stasiak, and the thing is, once you got to Planet Stasiak, Perry Saturn wasn't there anymore. That's what sucks. They could have done that, and Val Venus was no longer Val
Oh,
Venus. He was just a
wait
big Valvoski.
no, wait. Here, think about this: a Planet stable. Joey Mercury, Val Venus, freaking Perry Saturn, and then of course Planet Stasiak.
There you go. There you go. What a stable. What a faction. There's a faction for you.
There's the planet. Oh my God, the planets are attacking.
Now, how about X Pac at the World?
Oh,
What do you think about
yeah.
that?
See, no, they each week they have to go back to the world. They don't even go inside it. They just have to walk around. They have to orbit it. Just orbit the world.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get to the WWE Tag Team Championship. Edge and Christian challenging Undertaker and Kane. And this was kind of a quick tag match between two great tag teams, but this one's kind of forgetful. It was a really quick match. Kane and Undertaker win to remain champions. What
What
did
a
you think of this?
surprise.
Yeah, what did you think of this match?
Well, that was fine. Edge and Christian are still good. I like how Christian's still holding Edge's King of the Ring trophy like it's Stanley Cup. It's like, haha, look at this.
Yes. They then show a clip of Jeff Hardy jumping off a ladder again, and that is when Cole and Taz bring up the fact that Jeff Hardy has bruised ribs. Tough enough promo for later
Do do
tonight.
do 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 do. Hey
Mick.
guys, I'm Maven.
Yeah, so we did just bring up Maven, and now they're showing a promo for the upcoming Tough Enough. This was actually it's funny because, well, maybe not that funny, but it is a special Maven, a bit of a Maven centric episode because they show in the highlights. This was around the time where Maven was worried about his mother because she was in the hospital, and I think she legitimately passed away while they were filming
Yeah,
Tough Enough. I think, yeah.
he's like, hey guys, I'm Maven here. But I was a wrestler for about 5 years. Now here's a story about how I almost quit everything because my mother was was dying in the hospital, but I didn't. So then I went tough enough, and now I'm talking on YouTube. Do
so
do 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 do. I
so
hate my theme.
so Mick Foley was a guest on this specific episode of Tough
Oh
Enough,
God.
but now we get to Ivory. Yes, Ivory, the amazing looking Ivory, who absolutely looked amazing as usual in this match. She is going up against Lita. And by the way, when we were doing the last Raw, we were trying to figure out, was he still Gregory Helms or was he Hurricane Helms at this point? He is Hurricane Helms at this point. He actually runs interference here in this match, and they call him Hurricane Helms. And the right person won here. Ivory gets the win with the help of Hurricane Helms. Not a bad women's match. It was a good match. What do you think about it, Tro?
It was a good filler match. It's always silly.
Yeah. Always good to see Ivory. Come on, man.
Post RTC.
Yes,
Ivory.
and Ivory, I'm glad Ivory's in the Hall of Fame because she was a phenomenal. She didn't just look good; she was a phenomenal performer. You mentioned her time with the RCT, that was great. Her heel run in '99 when she was working with Moolah and Mae Young, a lot of entertaining stuff there. Ivory was great, man. She was. And speaking of the Hall of Fame, I don't follow current product, but obviously when it comes to the Hall of Fame, I am interested in who goes in because that's going back to when I actually cared. And I am very, very happy with the most recent announcement. Lex Luger
Yep.
finally going into the Hall of Fame. I
He,
can't remember if this had already been announced when we were doing the Raw show the other day.
what day was that? That would have been Thursday, right?
Yeah, I think so. I can't
Friday,
remember.
Friday, because we
Friday,
we
yeah.
did the deadline.
Yeah.
I think it was probably announced during because they aired a
Oh, okay.
segment later that night.
Okay, yeah, because if I had seen it, I probably
Yeah,
would have brought it up. But yeah, kudos to WWE for
you know,
inducting Lex Luger. It's a long time coming, man.
it's gonna be such an amazing moment at the induction ceremony
Yeah,
because he's in the wheelchair,
yep.
but he's been working with DDP, who is an absolute saint and deserves the Warrior Award. Actually, they should rename the Warrior Award, take that son of a
Yeah,
bitch's fucking name off it, and give it to it's called the DDP Award or the
I
Shad Gaspar Award.
and I'm a
Um,
fan. I'm a fan of Ultimate Warrior, but I agree.
he
He
doesn't
should.
deserve it. The
Yeah,
award should never been called the Warrior Award. It was for people backstage, and they never did backstage people except
I
for
mean,
once.
look at how many times Warrior bashed like gay people and
Yeah,
shit. Like he should not have that award.
yeah,
He
no,
should not
fuck
have the
him.
name to that award. No.
Screw him. Burn in hell.
Shad Gaspar or DDP, no
Yeah,
doubt they should
because
name.
DDP added years to Scott
Mm-hmm.
Hall's life. Eventually, he apparently did relapse before his death, but he added years to his life. He
Yep.
saved Jake Snake Roberts' life,
Yep.
and now he's helping Lex Luger, who had a stroke. I think no, was it a stroke or was something? He was working out in 2007, then he hurt himself,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he hasn't been able to like fully walk since. But thanks to DDP, he's been able to move around a little bit more.
Didn't
So
he
I think
recently? Didn't he recently walk or?
he's taking a few steps and then going right into a walker.
Oh, okay.
So what I think is going to happen at the Hall of Fame induction is because DDP will probably be with them. It's gonna they'll probably set his wheelchair up like by the stage, and then he's
Mhm.
gonna take like a few steps without the help of anybody and get to the podium. And it's gonna be like, holy shit! It'll be one of those like major emotional moments.
Yeah. Uh, great. It's great. Again, like kudos to
Yeah.
WWE for that. But we have a bit of bad breaking news in terms of the Mets here. Uh,
Oh
Francis
fuck me.
Francisco Alvarez has
Oh,
fractured the hamate bone in his left hand. It will require surgery, and he will miss 6 to 8 weeks. That is horrible. That is a
oh,
horrible
well, that sucks,
development.
but it's not the end of the world. You
Who
said
the hell's going to be our?
when you said Francisco, I got very nervous.
No, it's
Then you
not
said
that bad.
Alvarez. Alvarez, I mean, it's Simpsons and
Which,
Alvarez, but the
yeah,
alternative to Francisco is
yeah,
much worse.
yeah. Well, gosh, that's still horrible news.
It's
But
a horrible
anyway,
loss, but losing Lindor would have been, oh boy, even worse.
so we get a recap of Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from SummerSlam, and again, I have talked about that match. I talked about that match during our Raw review. I said I love that match. You can get my full review of SummerSlam. It was me and Christian back then. We reviewed that show. It's in the archives. Just check FNC Retro Reviews full episode playlist, and you will find the review there. But yeah, that was a great match, absolutely. So they're showing a recap from 4 days ago, and Angle kicked out of not one, not two, but three stunners, and obviously they show how Nick Patrick cost Angle the title by DQing. I believe he DQ'd Austin, and that led to obviously how Stone Cold was able to retain. Now we have RVD and Raven talking backstage. Raven says that he will listen to what Austin said. And after his match with Jericho tonight on SmackDown, Raven will ask Austin for a hardcore title shot versus RVD for Raw on Monday night. And Van Dam says, just go ask him now in his locker room. It's just next door. Raven laughs and says, RVD says, I will give you a title match anytime you want because I am everyone's favorite wrestler, Rob Van Dam. And so Raven walks away and says, I will see you Monday. And Van Dam says the same thing back to Raven. And obviously, this kind of slowly
Yeah.
building that, is RVD's getting so popular, is he going to turn on the
I,
alliance and join WWE? And
I think what
obviously,
RVD should have said was, cool, whatever, man. Cool, whatever, man. Cool. That's what his writing eventually turns into. None of this complex. He's in the next room. It's cool, whatever, dude. Uh-huh. I'm
yeah.
just a pot smoker, except I can't say that.
And obviously, at the very end of the invasion storyline, they're doing the whole "there's a mole in the alliance," and RVD obviously was the biggest suspect of all the suspects because everybody was thinking that this is the guy. Look, they were doing the whole "who's he gonna frog splash at No Mercy," and now he's still very popular. He's still beloved by WWE
Yeah,
fans. So there's a mole. It must be him, right? Well, obviously we knew he never did join Team WWE, which I mean they could have did something if he joined Team because he was getting so popular, but that's all right. Uh, so what do you think of that Raven and Van Dam backstage going back to
I thought it was fine, but doesn't Raven face Perry Saturn at Unforgiven?
yes he does.
They
So
might want to start
Raven
building. Might want to start building that one up.
obviously, but I get it though. It's like at this point you don't know who has Moppy,
Yeah,
so I sort of get that. And I would think that if not on Raw, it's got to be on SmackDown. It's got to be the upcoming week. If it's not Raw, it's got to be SmackDown.
well, I
Where
know.
Raven,
I've looked up what episode it is. It's an interesting episode number.
oh, which one is it?
It's the go home show
To the
for
pay
Raw.
per view.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's the 17th September. So so the first
So we
post
gotta wait a
9/11
whole month.
episode of Raw, they kill Moppy. God
There you
damn
go.
it!
And here we go. We get main event time. WWE title. Austin versus Jericho. And I'm sitting here watching this whole match. And I'm like, at the end of the match, we're finally gonna see Austin and Angle together. Angle's gonna come out and do something, right? Like, no! Angle is nowhere to be found. Stone Cold wins the match and walks away with the belt. He goes backstage and we see copyright 2001. That's it.
Good night, folks. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. That's it.
As for As for the match, I don't even know. I don't even know what I have as match of the night. I guess for segment of the night, I'd pick the whole Moppy thing with Regal. That because that was just so funny. I don't even know what I have match for the night because like Angle and Canyon was fun. This match was good. It's a toss up between these two matches, but like neither of the matches like stick out where it's like that was a damn good weekly show match. It's like this show, my goodness. But what did you think? You said earlier, but go ahead and give your thoughts on the title match here.
I thought this was a fine match. It was a fun TV match.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would change the title hands, so it's like obviously
Obviously not.
Austin's going to win this, whether it be by DQ or counter. But no, he won. I mean, he won clean from what I remember. He
No, no, no,
what's
no,
his
no, no, no.
no it was
That's the one thing I actually like about the. Well, I wouldn't say one thing I like about this show, but at least the heel won in the end dirty because
yeah.
the ending was there was a roll. There was like a roll up where it looked like Jericho's about to get a roll up pin victory, and then like Austin countered out of it and rolled Jericho up himself, and then he grabbed the ropes. So he held on to the ropes. So Austin didn't even win clean, so that's good. He's the heel. He shouldn't be winning clean. But
It,
then
it
he
would have
just
been
walked.
funny.
Go ahead.
It would have been funny if before they go to the end of the show, Cole's like, "Well, just in case you forgot, here's what happened on Raw." And they just show the segment, the milk segment one more time, and
they
they go to
should.
black.
They shouldn't show anything that happened on this show. They shouldn't be proud of this show, man. There was no storyline in
I'm
this.
sure next
Barely
episode we'll have a recap of what happened on Smack.
And here we go. Like I said, I messaged you before we started. I said this is going to be one of the lowest ratings. This is about as low as I can give a rating for a weekly show from 97 to '05, that time period that I absolutely love. Overall, out of 10, I give this a 6.5 out of 10. It is not a horrible show, but there's not that much storyline advancement. There's literally one in-ring segment throughout the whole show. I'm not feeling it. It was an okay show. That's all I'll say. 6.5, okay. Nowhere near great. But what did you think, Trump? Rating out of
You
10.
go 6, I go 5.
Well, there you go. There you go. We neither of us were too high on this show, but I think a 5 to me is a failing grade. A 6.5 is like it's thumbs in the middle essentially, but
Yeah,
5 is pretty much a thumbs down. You give it a thumbs down. I give it thumbs in the middle, where just not enough storyline advancement. Literally the main event of the upcoming pay per view that is literally a month away, in terms of date here. It's August 23rd, 2001. The pay per view is September 23rd, and your main event, just because you haven't announced it yet, which I don't think they have, doesn't mean that they can't like do something with each other. Like they're literally still feuding. Like you're coming off of SummerSlam, they're mentioning each other, but they're not confronting each other in any way. I really am sitting there watching this main event like, Angle's gonna come out at some point. This is where my rating might actually go up, and something really good is gonna happen. Then Austin's walking to the back, and the freaking copyright 2001 shows up. I'm like, really? What the hell did I just watch? This is a 2001 WWE. I don't expect this type of shit from WWE back then. I'd expected more recently, but not back then. This was like, what? So, failing grade from Tro, me thumbs in the middle. That's about as bad as you can get from me. Although, again, like I said, there was a Raw in 1998 where like they were so hamstrung because I think some guys weren't able. I think it was like a snowstorm, and they had to air the show on a Saturday, and like some guys
There,
couldn't even get to the arena, and like the main event ended up being like a 10-man tag of like DX versus Kai and Dai, and
there's
it
only one
was.
way to describe this episode. If I could put a sound effect to it, this is it.
It,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah, that's what
Copyright,
it felt
copyright
like.
that, motherfuckers.
That's about what it felt like. Also, everybody has their favorite copyright
Wow.
moment, because when or whatever they call it, the lower right
Well,
thing. This is my least favorite of those
well,
copyright.
modern WWE. Well, at least in the Triple H era, he likes to do the fake outs with
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Right.
Every now and again, it's like play the logos like, oh, that's the show's over, and that's like someone returns or big turn.
I got faked out in 2004 on a Smackdown episode. So the main event of this episode in particular was RVD versus Booker T, two guys who were on the exact show we just reviewed. But I don't remember if Booker T won the match, but Booker T ended the match like standing. Van Dam was down, Booker's standing. So Booker's taunting, doing, and the copyright thing shows up. And I'm a kid here, you got that bedtime. Once SmackDown's over, we gotta start getting ready for school tomorrow. So I gotta go to sleep. So you see the copyright thing, it's like, okay, time to go to sleep. I turn the TV off. That's it. I get to school the next day. It's like, did you see what happened on SmackDown? One of my friends like, did you see what happened on SmackDown? I'm like, yeah, I saw. I watched the whole show. I know what I was like. Big Show choke slam Kurt Angle off the ledge. I'm like, what the fuck? What? What? Big Show did what? So if if you're watching this, the exact show I'm talking about. It had to have been like in April of 04. So the copyright thing shows up as Booker T's celebrating. The show doesn't end. It literally cuts to like backstage, and Big Show's like bullying Tori Wilson. Tori's like, leave me alone, leave me alone. And then obviously Kurt Angle ends up getting involved. They end up on the ledge. Big Show choke slams Kurt Angle off the ledge. And I had to wait until fucking Velocity. So Friday. So essentially, at that point, we're at Friday. I'm at school. So from the time I find out about it, I essentially just have to wait a day. But I end up seeing it on Velocity, and I couldn't believe what I saw at the time, because like you're seeing blood just pour out of the back of Kurt Angle's head. But yeah, that's the one time I was actually faked out by the I guess you call it the bottom right, the copyright, um, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was the one time I got faked out by that.
Yeah. So the next episode is what, the August 29th?
So let's see. I counted up last week, but it was a little easier. But
Yeah.
it's still going to be
It get
easy.
it
So,
gets it gets easier once we get into September.
yeah. So 23. This would be Thursday. So 24 would be Friday.
Yeah.
25 would be Saturday. 26, 27. August
27.
27th. So our next
Okay.
review will be the August 27th, 2001 Raw. Again, we're on the road to Unforgiven, for those who don't know. Unforgiven 2001. So obviously, we started with the night after the Raw, the night after SummerSlam. and this is our second episode. But yeah, we're going. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Road to series, this is actually history for our Road to series. This was the first This was the first SmackDown episode of any of our Road to series. We started with Vengeance 04, Raw only
Yep.
pay per view. We did WrestleMania 15 pre SmackDown era, and we did obviously this series started with a Raw episode, but now we did the SmackDown episode. This was the first SmackDown episode in the history of our Road to series. Obviously, as time goes on, we do more of these. There'll be a lot more SmackDown episodes.
Yeah.
I would hope that our first SmackDown exclusive pay per view will be the first one, Vengeance 03, just because of how good that show was. And
Well, the cards
since,
are in either are in our both our hands.
yeah, I wanted to bring that up to you because I already have an idea of what I was going to next. And I'm not saying that I want you to pick Vengeance
Yeah,
03.
he's trying to
I'm
push me
just
to one
I'm
side
not
here, folks.
I'm not trying to push you to that. I'm just saying
No,
if you're thinking of a SmackDown only pay-per-view that isn't Vengeance 03, think about maybe pushing it back
if I
and
really
choosing
wanted to,
something else.
if I really wanted to screw with you, I could have picked Vengeance 05. That's 2 months. That's two
Yeah.
months of Raw, and we have to watch ECW one night stand.
Listen, Vengeance. Me and Christian have reviewed One Night Stand 05.
Damn.
So, but again, like I said, we can. If it's me and you, we can go over pay-per-views that me and Christian went over. So
To
I
be
still
fair,
like
it doesn't play into the canon of it doesn't play into the canon of Vengeance,
it.
so we
Doesn't
probably
yet.
wouldn't have to.
See, Vengeance 05, that was the okay. I saw 3 pay-per-views in 04, so that's 3. Was Vengeance the first one? I think it was. So that would have been the 4th pay-per-view I ever saw live, and I fucking love that. Actually, was Great American Bash first? No, Great American Bash would have been in July, right? Because I did see Great American Bash 05 as well. No, yeah, because ECW One Night Stand was the same month. So yeah, I don't think they did 3 pay-per-views in the same month. But yeah, I loved Vengeance 05.
I hope not.
I
That's even much for them. They've come close, but
yeah. I fucking love Vengeance 05. So if you end up picking that, I would have no problem. But I'm not telling you which show to pick. But I'm just saying if you're thinking of a SmackDown only Road 2 that isn't Vengeance 03, maybe put that to the side and think of something else. And then
gun to my
after
head.
after we do both our upcoming shows, maybe I will lean towards Vengeance 03 as my next show afterwards. And then you can go back to your SmackDown only pay per view.
And I will suggest this: if we ever become big enough, yes, we would let the fans, all you 5 people watching this, you can decide. Well,
But see,
the rotation.
they would have to also understand that when it's me, I don't do like
Yeah.
post 2005 WWE stuff. TNA would be the only like post 2005 stuff that I'd be with, and that only goes up to about 2010. Beyond like
You don't want to watch
so
Destination America TNA,
no,
Global Force Wrestling TNA, when they
no.
put a sticker over the TNA titles.
And when I say to 2010, I mean 2010 included. Like 2011 on, no thank you.
You don't like the Aces and Eight.
I did like the Ace and Eight angle. That was a good angle. I will say that. But I don't 2013 besides the Aces and Eights angles, like what the hell else did they really have going on for them at that time? It's like
Well, they had Claire Lynch.
Claire Lynch was pre oh yeah, that was 2013. And that was a good angle too. That was a good
They
angle too.
ruined that poor girl's life, career. The baby's coming, AJ, and I want you to be around.
we have some more breaking news. Not
Is it good or
involving.
bad?
It's not involving either of our teams, but it
Oh,
does
thank God.
involve. It does involve a player who was on the trade market, who was, rumored to have my team interested in it, but in him. Miles Garrett has signed an extension, so he will be staying with the Browns. He's not getting traded.
That poor guy.
40 million per year, but what's the how many years? Oh, this apparently it makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Wow,
Oh, well,
something.
some players aren't gonna like that.
Wow. And we are in the market for pass rushers, so that's a bit scary. And like I said, that's why we were one of the teams that was rumored to be interested in him. That's why I say that we need pass rushers.
Well, my
Bad.
Giants like to be younger. We have to get younger. The
I
New
agree.
York,
I
the New
agree.
York Giants, we have to become younger.
Mhm.
No beards. Young.
Yeah. So what else do we have to say about this? This was obviously of my favorite time period for WWE, 97 to 05. This would be one of my least favorite weekly shows of that time period. And if you watch this YouTube channel, whether past or present, or in the future, and you maybe you're in the future and you're watching us in order, and you were waiting for me to
Season 3.
bash, you were waiting for me to bash the 97 through 05 time period. This is about as good for you as it'll get.
We're gonna make a playlist called Frank's Rage. Episodes that Frank hates.
I didn't hate those. Like
For
I said,
Frank,
thumbs in the
but
middle.
no, but we call it that you hate it because that'll get clicks.
Right. We
That's
don't have enough. We don't have enough viewers to where people care that
I
much.
know.
I feel like if
When
we
when
did,
we get enough viewers, that's when we're gonna get you to watch shit that you don't want to watch,
oh, I don't know about that. I don't
just
know
to
about
get
that.
you pissed off, because that'll make a hell of a review.
But here, what I was gonna say, if we actually had viewers, I guarantee a lot of people would be like, "This guy always makes that time period sound so great. He never bashes anything of it." Well, there's one episode for if that crowd ever grows for us, there's the episode you were looking for. If you're in the future here and you're like, oh, and we for some reason got really big, and you decided, oh well, let me watch these guys in order, and so just came up to this episode. Wait,
Before they had a studio and stuff, before they became big, we're on VidCon. We're at VidCon. We have our diamond play buttons.
and you've been waiting for this episode. Well, here it is. This was the episode where a weekly show in the 97 through 05 time period doesn't get high marks from me. But again, like I said, there was a Raw in 1998, but they were hamstrung. So it's like they weren't exactly hamstrung in this episode. Like Kurt Angle was there, Stone Cold was there, Booker T's there, Rock's there. Like all the key players except for I guess Shane McMahon. I didn't see Shane McMahon at all in this show, but you don't necessarily need Shane McMahon. The feud is Booker and Rock, even though it's going to be a handicap match. It's like all the key players for Unforgiven are at this show, and this was the best you could do in terms of storyline advancement. Get rid of that 6-man tag match and give me a segment somewhere. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm glad we got to see Ivory. I'm glad we got to see Stephanie McMahon. They both looked amazing as usual, but was Tori on the show? I don't even think Tori Wilson was on the show.
Tori, no.
And Stacy Keebler not either, but at least we got to see Ivory and Stephanie McMahon. I'm happy about that. But yeah, this show, thumbs in the middle for me, thumbs down for Tro, and I don't blame him. Honestly, it's for this time period, you expect much better especially when it
We're
comes to
not mad. We're just disappointed in you,
yeah.
WWF in 2001.
And I'm disappointed with this show, man. Even though I gave it a decent, okay rating, I don't expect okay from WWE back then. When it comes to the weekly shows, man, I don't expect okay. I expect
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
So again, our next review will be the August 27th Raw as we are on the road to Unforgiven. And I guess that's as much. Anything else you have to say about this show, Tro?
Ugh.
At the end of at the end of the month, we'll have our Mets season preview. At the beginning of April, we'll have our Islanders March recap, and then hope
Oh boy.
if they don't make the playoffs, which hopefully they will, we will only have one more recap after that. If they win tonight, they could end the night only 1 point back of the playoffs, even without Brock Nelson. They could end tonight 1 point back. So thank you to everybody who's watched. Shout out to you guys. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. By the way,
Comments, please.
this
We
is
need
how
we need the engagement.
Yeah, we do. This is how small we are. I can actually figure out that from our last episode, we gained a subscriber because we were at 158 for so long, and now we're at 159. So hopefully,
Let's go.
hopefully this episode gained a few more subscribers. We'll see. But yeah, anybody, if you like this show, thank you. Thank you for everybody who watched. And again, please subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. And we will see you maybe on Monday, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
hit you
it's
up.
Sunday.
Yeah, today is Sunday. Yeah.
Today,
See,
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
maybe we will get to that Raw tomorrow, and hopefully, I don't
Speed
remember
running
which.
this. Speed run
I
this shit.
hopefully, because we have to. We've waited so long to even start
Yeah, see,
this road.
folks, this didn't take 6 months for this episode.
And I can't remember which Raw the 27th of August was, like what happened on that show, but it's gotta be 1,000 times better.
Imagine it's worse. Imagine it's worse than this one. There's no in-ring segments, just wrestling the whole time.
Oh my gosh, I doubt that. It's 2001, man. It has to
A
be
two a
ridiculous.
2 hour Iron Man a 2 hour 6-man tag match. The Shoguns and freaking Rico, I guess.
Rico wasn't
Random
there yet.
random
Rico was
alliance members.
Rico was in OVW. He technically
Oh
was
man,
there, but he wasn't
that's
on
his
TV.
debut, obviously. Two,
His name.
here's your debut 2 hour 6-man Iron Man.
Oh my gosh. Oh, guys, if anybody's watching, look, if you want to watch 2001 WWE, I absolutely how you say it? I recommend that you do.
Yeah.
If there's one, I'm not the person to skip over episodes, but if there is one episode to skip when it comes to 2001, whether Raw or SmackDown, this is the episode to skip, in my opinion.
The only storyline advancement we got technically was just Perry Saturn.
Why do you think I gave it the segment of the night? Not just it was funny. It was funny, and yeah, you advanced the storyline. Technically, you had advancement within the show because that one in-ring segment was
Yeah.
to get to the main event, but that's just for the show. That's not for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I swear, I'm sitting there watching this main event. I'm like, Angle's coming out after the match. That's where we're finally going to get something. Angle's coming out after the match.
He's coming out now.
Under Austin
No.
walks out with the belt. The copyright thing pops up, and that's it. What?
What?
But anyway, we will see you maybe tomorrow when we review the August 27th, 2001 episode of Raw. Hopefully, this is the last thumbs in the middle, thumbs down show of this Road to Unforgiven that you will get. But we will see you later.